The Fuckboy Adventures of Dabi and Arturo. So, who is Dabi? Dabi is Arturo's best friend throughout the entire time he went to the juvie school, which is the continuation school that Arturo was known for. You see, Arturo had this reputation of making me jealous for being the former anime fan that fell into the dark side that went to a continuation school after we both loved Naruto in Japanese. So along the way, he gets a friend named Dabi, but his original name was Doyle. So I'm gonna put it straight out there, Arturo is white. The reason why I said he was Mexican before is because the same juvie school that him and Dabi went to, there was this guy that they used to hang out with whose Instagram name was Boy Arturo. So Arturo's real name will remain anonymous, but the main fact is I had his back, but I made sure to call him Boy Arturo. So anyway, Arturo, ass was literally a part of their language in the juvie school. Whenever you showed up with a rack-ass outfit, like, bro, those jeans look ass. He's like, bro, you see that Manny Pacquiao fight? Bro, that fight was ass. Arturo learned so much from the continuation school that literally I tried to remain a nerd, and I'm all like, I don't get it, because they were trying to force gangster shit down my throat. I'm like, I don't get it. He's like, I know you don't get it. You don't get no money, you don't get no pussy. Arturo was a fucking fool. Okay, so anyway, back to Dabi. How we meet Dabi? We met Dabi sophomore year, and he became one of the head figures in my gang. Well, I mean, it's just my hangout buddies, not my gang, but you know, they're fucking my pals. Literally, Dabi became one of the main characters. And so, the thing about Dabi that separated him from everyone else is that he had a big ass head like Homer Simpson. And it was so fucking funny. There was this one time Arturo was trying to explain the story to me, and he's all like, hey, you know Dabi? I'm like, yeah, I know Dabi. He's like, yeah, the guy looks like Homer Simpson. I'm like, oh. So one day I see Dabi and Arturo hanging out, and so Dabi tries to roast me, and so I come back saying, yeah, at least I look like Homer Simpson. So Arturo intervenes. He's all like, he thinks he's funny. So even before My Hero Academia came out, we called him Dabi, and so his original name was Doyle. So literally the only reason why we called him Dabi is because he got sick and tired of people calling him Doyle. Because what it would be is he was the one with the mega hashies, and we needed him, so we called him Doyle because he had the oil. We called him Dabi because he had to hook up on all the dabs at the time. Literally, Dabi, so fucking funny. But before it was Dabi, it was Doyle. But it was Doyle Anderson. So I didn't know how to roast back in the day, and Arturo was literally trying to pretend to be my sensei and shit. So Arturo shows up to my door with Dabi, and I just get done watching a Matrix trailer, and literally, so Dabi comes up to my door, and he's like, hey, what's up? I'm like, Mr. Anderson. And Arturo literally starts getting hella mad, rolling on the floor. He's like, that is your name, Doyle Anderson. So let's get the reason why I was so jealous of Arturo is because I already adapted to hip-hop on a serious note, and I knew I would have had way more fun at the juvie school than the squares at my high school because I already trained with the survival of the fittest shit. Metaphorically speaking, you get what I'm saying? Like, I didn't train with weenies, basically. I already explained the difference between a wannabe thug and a nerd that doesn't have muscle mass, so let's not get into that. So, literally, the crazy part about that was Dabi was literally 6 foot and Arturo was the same height as me. So, literally, and they were both right. So, when they went to juvie school, Arturo gave me a little bit of light, a little bit of relief, because I thought I was the only one getting roasted. So Arturo came to me and drove me to the side. He's like, do you know what they call me and Dabi at the continuation school? I'm like, what? He's like, picky in the brain. Before Matrix was a thing, Dabi went to my house and I called him Mr. Anderson. Not literally, so Arturo was gonna invite me to go smoke and hang out at the pool. And so literally, so I call Arturo's phone, and literally Dabi answers the phone. And I'm like, Doyle! And literally, he's on the other line. He's like, did you just fucking call me Doyle? And Arturo literally runs out of breath from the other line. I hear him through the phone. He's like, there was this one time where Arturo told me a story about him and Dabi were roasting, right? And so Dabi was having a temper tantrum and he was roasting the fuck out of Arturo, but Arturo relayed his call. And so literally he called him a bitch. And so Dabi starts roasting him with all these intelligent, clever roasts. But at the end of the day, Arturo stated, "You still didn't deny that you're my bitch." And then Dabi says, "Fuck," and wakes up the whole neighborhood. There was this time where I had A and B obsession where I was showing random hood nigga about A and B's. I'm like, yo, I put this shit with some heavy rap music. Yeah, I put this and that. Yeah. Try to look cool and shit in school. And literally, so Dabi comes over to my house and me and Arturo get hella high with Dabi. And we're watching my A and B. And it was like, it's the Itachi one. And literally, Dabi's all like, where the fuck do you find this shit? And so, literally, no, the purpose of Dabi was to let people know that Arturo isn't what he says he is, but I'm not as socially awkward as they say I am, because what Dabi would do, he would do outlandish shit in public and he would get away with it, saying it's not because he has a condition, it's because he doesn't want to stand up to people and shit. So there was this one time where literally we're hanging out in my house and Dabi starts trying to fight me in my own house, but he's doing it in a playful way to where it never escalates. And literally, so like Dabi is talking shit to me, but whenever I tried to swing at Dabi, he did the same thing I did in the fight. Previously, when Arturo did a different strategy, when everybody in high school can't hit me because I kept on blocking every punch with one hand, he stepped to his side and threw a hook because he knew I was gonna block it. But that was the whole point of the fight, because Dabi was there. Me and Arturo fought for the first time. Dabi knew what it was all about, and Dabi knew that if Arturo didn't know me, that I would have run. And so literally, so Dabi calls me out of my own house, and when we step out my door, he starts bopping and weaving just like I do in the fight. And I didn't know that this was street code at the time. It's like, I have your back. Why Arturo plays so many mind games and shit. And there was this one time where he tried to tell me that being popular isn't always cracked up to me. That literally, he's like, dude, you start hearing voices in your head and you become popular. Like, the pool isn't full. And Arturo starts fucking rolling. There was this one time when they convinced me that I was about to get jumped. So, literally, so there was these two girls that literally ride on the street right next to me, but there's a red light and they had me tripping. I think these guys are actually street smart. So they told me that they started something with their brothers and shit like that. So literally, so they had me grab a rock. Literally, he's like, dude, we're about to get in the game fight. You gotta be in tow. So literally, me, Dabi, and Arturo high as fucking, I don't know what's going on. They tell me to grab a rock. We might get into a fight. And so we're literally walking down the street, and it's like, if they turn, you don't have to fight. But if they keep on going straight, I don't know. Literally, that shit was so fucking funny, because literally, we laughed about it the next day. He's all like, hey, did you know that we made Ernest bring a rock to his house for no reason? And so there was this time where I had beef with Dabi, where literally I call him out about, why the fuck did you try to fight me in my own house? And I'm like, that's out of pocket. So Dabi literally does this shit where he throws his phone out his pocket. He's like, you know what's out of pocket? That's out of pocket. So there's this one time where I was on the swings. Literally, I couldn't smoke all day. I'm literally bored out of my mind, listening to my iPod on the swing, and literally, so I see Dabi and Arturo walk past the school where I'm swinging at, and literally, I see him like, yo, Arturo. I didn't expect him to be there, so literally, so I go run up to Arturo. I'm like, hey, what's happening? Can I hang out? And literally, so Dabi, literally, first thing's like, yeah, you cost at the wrong time. You got $1 for a swisher? I'm like, $1.50. And so Dabi literally shakes his head like a bobblehead. Ha ha! He came ready. And that was so cool. Dabi ended up buying a soda at the liquor store, that 50 cents. No, but seriously, that was the whole point of Dabi's scheme. So I started throwing hook after hook and making Dabi duck and shit like that. And he's like, dude, if this was a real fight, you would have got rocked. Telling me everything that the 8th grade people tried to do that didn't work because I trained hard. And that's why he always paid me homage. But he couldn't give me validation in front of Arturo because of the whole scheme that Arturo was trying to pull. But, so here's the thing. So, literally, there's this one day where the blue brisk just comes out, and me and Arturo always done the master with the snacks. So I show Arturo to do blue brisk, and Arturo was like, Dabi told me that was nasty. And I was all like, what? And so he's like, yo, let me try that shit, because we were smoking and shit. And so he's all like, tripping. And so literally a comes up and Dabi comes to the door, literally trying to pull the same shit. And he's like, sees me with the blue wrist. He's trying to tell me that's nasty. And I look at him, I'm like, you got the game fucked up. And then Arturo literally loses his fucking gun. And he's all like, Ernst couldn't have told you any more right. And that was the dynamic between me and Dabi's friend Arturo. I mean, Arturo's old friend named Dabi, but that shit was so fucking funny.